What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
This is James Shoe.com,
and let's talk about some polka. Let's talk about Jessica Chastain in Molly's Game.
Yeah, well, I'm all in for Molly's Game. So
Idris Elba, one of my faves.
Kevin Costner, Aaron Sorkin, the man who made computer coding seem like heist movies. I love that line, and it's so true. I heard about this movie at CinemaCon. They gave me a lovely deck of playing cards with Molly's Game written all over it, and since I saw the little sizzle reel of it, I've been hyped for this movie.
Yeah, me too.
Molly Bloom, a woman who basically dominated the famous poker game at one point in LA and New York, and this is her story. Did you know about Molly Bloom and
Not
this
at all.
whole like poker game and all this situation?
No, not at all. So when I saw the preview, I was like, oh, okay, this looks really good. You know, it's like a poker movie, and I like poker movies.
Yes.
And my favorite James Bond with Daniel Craig was Casino Royale.
Yes.
You know, and then I love Shade with Jamie Foxx.
Which is a movie not many people have seen.
No, and it's weird because
Stallone.
there's two versions, but anyway. And then my favorite poker movie of all time is still Rounders.
Yes, which is the be-all end-all.
Matt Damon.
Yeah. So what do you think about Molly's Game?
Honestly, I was entertained the entire time. I had fun the entire time. I wasn't bored at all, but it never got me pumped or excited, to be honest.
Which this would, in my opinion, I think would categorize the James Shoe jacked level.
Yeah, it was just the steady, good movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Decent,
good.
yeah.
You know, there wasn't anything I was bored with.
Yeah.
I personally think Jessica Chastain's gorgeous.
Yes.
You know, so there's nothing wrong with seeing.
But her performance?
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no problems with her.
Was it as good as, let's say, Margot Robbie's and I, Tonya?
Between those two, you know, they're so different, but I would still say that Margot Robbie did better than Jessica Chastain, and might have been also because there was more to work with.
Yes.
Where I, Tanya's more potential psychological problems,
Yeah.
Versus Jessica Chastain's very
much more of a good character.
very
study.
smart and very
very similar to a character in Miss Sloane. That's all I could think
and
about.
then I was just about to say,
Yeah.
I enjoyed Miss Sloane, and I would actually say Miss Sloane, same thing. I enjoyed it. It was a good movie. I don't know if I really would recommend it to anyone, really.
I might have
personally
liked Miss
enjoyed it.
Sloane better than I did Molly's Game, even though I think the film as a whole is better. But Jessica Chastain's performance in Miss Sloane, I think, got me the first time, where the second time I was like, oh, this is familiar. This seems like we're doing the same thing. So I think that really affected my enjoyment in Molly's Game.
I think the poker affected me and why I liked that better.
Yes.
Just because I love poker. When the movie first starts in Molly's Game and they show the first poker hand,
Yes.
and the way they show poker
Illustrate
visually,
all this stuff, yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. Do
Yeah.
we have a movie I'm gonna enjoy more than Rounders? It just never did, though. It got my attention. It got me. Oh yeah, maybe that part I was like, okay, here we go.
Yes.
Is this gonna be like the new way to illustrate visually poker? But no, it didn't.
And I think you're perfectly right. I think this is the case of Aaron Sorkin wanted to make a movie about poker, but ended up having to tell the story of Molly Bloom. Like, to me, it felt like that was where Aaron Sorkin really like recreated that. He's the guy who made Coding a heist movie. Those poker sequences are so strong and so tense, even though we're being told what's happening, what the outcomes are. It's still so suspenseful. But when we get to just telling Molly's story, it just feels kind of nah. And I think that's kind of what I broke down as, like, had this movie been a real poker movie and we talk about poker the entire time, because it's only a really small element. I mean, yes, it's about a woman who controlled these games, but we don't really focus on the poker very much.
Not at all.
But in that scene, I think, is the strongest point of the movie. And I think the rest of the movie kind of holds, like you said, kind of this plateau, like this very steady pace. I know you had some issues kind of with the ending, though, right? Like the last kind of 30 minutes in the third act of the resolution with Kevin Costner, and then how it just kind of all ends.
Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me.
Without spoiling it, but
Yeah, so I won't spoil it in any way, shape, or form. But so Kevin Costner is in the movie.
Yes, her father.
And then once it starts with the ice rink, she skates on the ice rink.
Yeah.
Or not ice rink. It's a ice.
some skating, right?
Yeah, she starts skating and she sits with her father. From that point, I was just like, do we need this scene?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't doubt it happened in real life for this. For Molly Bloom, I'm not saying that. I just thought, I was like, okay, well that's useless. And then as it continues, I was just like,
I will say that while I understand why we maybe do need the scene, I would say that like, the believability is an issue. And even if, let's say, even if it really did, this is a common argument that I have with people.
Yeah, because where did he come from out of nowhere?
Yeah, because like that argument of like, oh, but it really did happen. Well, it doesn't matter. If I have to believe it in the movie, even if it did happen, even if Molly Bloom's father just magically seemed to appear.
I felt he came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if you said it or I said it, but I was like, oh, is he's really there? Because we didn't think he was really there. You know, you have to believe that type of stuff, even if it did happen in real life. The film portrays it kind of like, oh, she sees this thing and it's not really there. But then it kind of leads into what would be like a really nice, neat ending. Yeah. And I think that's kind of a flaw in the movie. Granted, if that's what really happened, it really happened. Yep. But I think by that point, the energy is really beat out of the movie, and we're just trying to get to the very, very ending because all the exciting stuff is no longer there, and we're just trying to clean it up.
You know how she had the drug issue?
Yes.
They did it so faintly
that it doesn't feel like a threat.
Yeah, but drugs in real life, and I assume in her real life, it was.
Yeah.
I assume. I don't know. And then, see, we shouldn't be having this conversation either, to me, that I don't know.
Oh, what do you mean?
That they made it look like it wasn't a big deal, so was it not?
Well, no,
and
because I think the character states numerous times that she had a very serious drug problem.
But it didn't appear that.
No,
I agree with you. But in the movie, it didn't look like that. She had a huge...
And I think that's a fair criticism. Is just I think that everything is dealt very lightly. The only scene that I felt was done with much force and intention was that poker scene. And I think that's kind of where the movie falls. Granted, I don't think the movie's bad, and I don't think that these issues are bad, but they just don't feel like they're really ingraining like what's happening to this character. It could be as simple as comparing this movie to I, Tonya.
I, Tonya 8, this 7 for me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, so pretty close. I think there'd probably there'd be a bigger difference for me. We have I, Tonya, who talks about abuse, and that's like a common recurring theme in the movie. And granted, like it's not something it completely focuses on, but we see these elements of abuse get worse and worse and worse. Where in this movie, we hear her talk about drugs, we see her sniffing some stuff, and like she talks about her drug abuse.
Just one time,
but she's just talking about
just
it.
One time.
Yeah, because she's always talking about it in this voiceover. And of course, the film is the art of showing, not telling. And I think that's where that kind of all falls apart, and it doesn't really show because she's still successful. That's the thing is she still is triumphing while on drugs, so it doesn't really kind of show her completely break until she actually gets attacked physically, and that's kind of the breaking moment with her. And I think it was a solid movie.
Even the breaking part though wasn't because of drugs though.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
so it really doesn't. And of course in real life there's not necessarily that moment where this happens, that happens, but in the movie, it just doesn't feel like things are always flushed out as well as they should.
What did you think of Chastain?
I think Chastain was good, but like I said, I think it was just too familiar with her performance of Miss Sloane. This strong woman who's going to play everybody, who's one step ahead of everyone. Literally, I think the Miss Sloane line was always have a card so you could trump the next card or trump the next person in Miss Sloane. And that's exactly who Molly is. And I think that's why she plays it so well. But because the performance is so familiar, and I'm seeing so many good performances right now, amazing performances this year, it just didn't do... I really wanted to love this movie, and I couldn't. And Idris Elba is good, but doesn't have much to work with to really shine. I love that guy. He's more of a plot device than an actual real character that we really kind of delve into. So overall, I think not one of Sorkin's best. I think that the dialogue is strong, and I think the moments of poker are really strong. But overall, I thought the movie was fine.
It's gonna be exciting to see, but depending on when you're watching this,
yes, because it'll come out when this movie opens in Las Vegas.
Who kills it for 2017 Oscars?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 17.
Yeah, the 17 movies, but yeah, 2018.
It'll be exciting to see who wins,
Yeah, I'm interested.
We'll see.
Of course, we'll talk about our top 10s come January 1st, whether or not this movie is out or not. I don't know if we'll be talking about it in our top 10, but it'll be interesting. And
we can see which studio plays their cards right.
Ooh! But yeah, that's it. I don't say fold Molly's game, but I wouldn't go all in either.
JasonCinema.com, known as
the Film Lovers website.